shouldn't be hard. Life should be a fun-filled adventure every day. So now start joining up dots. Tap into your talents, your skills, your God-given gifts, and tell your boss, you don't deserve me. I'm out of here. It's time for you to smash that alarm clock and start getting the dream business and life you, well, of course, are dreaming of. Let's join your host, David Ralph, from the back of his garden in the UK, or wherever he might be today, with another jammed-packed episode of the #1 hit podcast, Join Up Dots.
Yeah, good morning to you. Welcome to Join Up Dots. It's an interesting episode today because I've received an email from, I assume it's a lady, Clary Maxwell. Is Clary a girl's name or a boy's name? But it's Clary Maxwell from Michigan in USA, who is feeling lost and would like to actually ask some questions to the podcast. And that's what we're here for. And it's not just us, because we put it to the world, and you guys have got the ability to just give us your viewpoints. Come across to the website, joinupdots.com, and you can either leave a voice message or you can just send an email directly from any device to joinupdots@gmail.com, and we can share your opinions directly to Clary as well. So Clary's dropped us a line and says, "Hey David, I hope you're doing well. I wanted to talk about something that's been on my mind lately and see if you can relate. Do you ever feel like life's just carrying you along without a real direction? Like you're stuck in a cycle where each day feels exactly the same and you're just going through the motions until it all repeats the next day? I've been thinking about how people usually shape their lives with the choices they make, but lately I've been struggling to make those decisions. It's like I'm on autopilot, doing what needs to be done, but without any real control or ability to choose. I want to feel like I'm steering my own ship and making conscious decisions, but right now it's all a bit blurry. I'm hoping to chat with you about this and maybe get some fresh perspective or advice. Any thoughts you would have would mean a lot." So Clary, it's a common thing, this. And I think one of the common issues is that we're very much directed by the thoughts that we have in our head, the would, the should, that things should be in a better place. It would have been better if we'd done this or that. We're very much trapped within the sort of the past, the regrets, and the future of where we want things to be. And unfortunately, most of the time, the only thing that we can do is be in the present. Okay, so you're right. The world is full of people that have done incredible things in their lives, and there's people that have done nothing in their lives, or it seems like they've done nothing in their lives, and they are in a bad situation. You see housing estates. I saw a program the other day where this guy is living with people on housing estates in the United Kingdom for 60 days to find out what it's like on a daily basis. And a lot of the people there are struggling because they're trapped in the situations caused by previous generations. And it's almost that because they've grown up in this environment of, nature and nurture, they can't see any other way. It's all they ever know. So the young guys go out in the evening and they've got guns in their pockets and they've got knives in their other pocket and stuff. And they're basically either protecting themselves or looking for trouble. Now, you might look at that and think, well, they're in a terrible situation. They're just victims of the situation. But within that, there's people that rise above it and do incredible things and have an amazing life and become rich and famous or whatever. There's always people that can do it. And it all comes down to making those decisions on a daily basis to drive your direction in a way that you want. So we all know that. Every single person has the ability to wake up in the morning and say, okay, today I am going to do something which will be one dot further on to where I want to be. Okay. And if you do enough of those dots, the compound effect is absolutely amazing. And you can create lives that you can only dream about at the beginning until you hit those lives. And then you realize that was just a beginning dream. You can actually move further on. But what Claire is saying is, what do you do when you are knowing all this and you know that you are this captain of your own ship, but you just kind of just feel fuzzy in the head. You just feel a bit blur. You just feel like you can't make the decisions. Now, I've known this, and I've known times when I just can't see the wood for the trees. And that's because I've got too many decisions to make. And my brain kind of goes, oh, I can't think of everything, so doesn't think of anything at all, and just goes into sort of limp mode, zombie-like state. Now, there's people out there like presidents and I know Steve Jobs and Mark Zuckerberg and all these people that get asked stuff and have to make decisions time and time again. They look at limiting the ones that they don't really need to do. So that's why whenever you see Zuckerberg, he's always wearing the same clothes. Steve Jobs was always wearing the same clothes. Barack Obama was always wearing the same clothes. When you see Donald Trump, he's always wearing a red tie and a blue suit. You know, it's just that they limit the amount of decisions that they have to make. They limit the amount of choices they have to make. And that's a good way, I think, Clary, of starting to see what needs to be done in your life by clearing the amount of things that just bombard you and bog you down. Now, we hear a lot about mental health, and we hear about depression, and we hear about many different aspects when your brain isn't really doing what it wants to do. And one of the things I don't think we hear much about is what you're talking about, those times when your brain is just kind of tired. It's had too much to think about. It just needs a rest. And we can all talk about digital detox and getting off of Instagram and TikTok and all these kind of things that bombard us. But how do we take that into the wider sense, and how do we get our brain back into the shape of wanting to make decisions, wanting to feel inspired and motivated, wanting to take that next dot to the direction? And this is what I think that we have to do. And this is what I would say to you, Clary, in response to your email. First of all, you've done the main thing. You're aware of it. And the reason that you've sent this email is that you're aware that your brain is just kind of a bit, as you say, it's on autopilot, doing what needs to be done, but just getting through a day and then waking up the next day to go through exactly the same things. Okay. Now, first thing is awareness. Be aware that you've got this issue. And then second thing I would say is quite simply know where you want to go. Don't just sort of be vague and oh yeah, I just want a lovely life and £2 billion in the bank. Be really detailed about what you want in your life, because no one ever drifted to where they wanted to be without a fixed direction. You wouldn't get any captain setting his boat out onto the ocean and just going, okay, we'll just see where we'll end up. They know exactly where they're heading, so they take the actions to make them get to that shore that they want to cross the other side of the ocean. And that is one of the things I see time and time again, that people do not really know where they're heading. They don't really know what they want. They just have this wishy-washy. I speak to so many people through Join Up Dots. They can't tell me what they actually want. They can't tell me what time they want to wake up in the morning, what they want their life to look like. Do they want to live in this country or abroad? Do they want to take their family with them? Do they want to homeschool? Do they want to eat Weetabix every morning? You know, really detailed. Because once you get really detailed and you know exactly what you want, a lot of the choices that you are struggling with disappear anyway, because you just look at them and go, Well, there's no point in thinking about that because it's not going to take me where I want to be. I'll give you an example. Everything through Join Up Dots is about me having time freedom and location freedom. That's the two things. I want to wake up every morning thinking, what do I fancy doing today? 90% of the time, you won't be able to just get me. I am doing what I want when I want. So when something comes along to me, and it's always a big opportunity, and somebody will drop me an email and say, David, I've got this wonderful opportunity for you. And I always think to myself, is it an opportunity that I would have looked for? And does that opportunity mean that I've got to be at my computer, I've got to be somewhere else at a time dictated to by someone else? And if it is, then I don't do it. I don't even think about it. I just delete the email, or I just respond back and say, no, thank you. Those choices, those decisions have gone. So once I've got that on the broadest sense, I don't have to make an awful lot of decisions. I only have to make the decisions based on where it's taking me. So I think that is why I would say if you feel like you're going round and round and round, you're not heading anywhere. You're just going, as I say, round in circles. What you need to do is sit there with a bit of paper and jot down your whole day and do it in hours. 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, all the way through to lunchtime, through to the evening. Do it how you want your weekends to be. Really jot everything down, because you will start to see themes. And when I work with people, that's one of the first things I do. I always get them to talk about their dream life, as detailed as they could possibly be. Because once you have that vision in your head, you're in control. And I will say that again. Once you have that vision in your head, you are in control, because everything just disappears. So I know exactly what you're thinking, and I know exactly why you're feeling that. But I think at the moment, you are just on a ship just floating around. You're aware of it. You've got that desire to change it, but you don't know why or where you're going to change it. You haven't cleared through the weeds and created that path that gives you the clarity of where you're heading. Okay, so I think that is the easiest way of dealing with these issues. Okay, I feel like if you want to be steering your own ship and making the conscious decisions, as you say, then know where you're heading. You know, jump on that ship, put it into gear, put the sails up and say, right, today it's going to go there, and everything else can just get out of my way. And little by little, you will start to find that that path was always waiting for you anyway. You've just got bogged down with life. Okay, so Clary Maxwell from Michigan, USA. Thank you very much for that email, because I think that is something that so many people struggle with, and it's something that I struggle with, and I lose track of myself, and then I have to get back onto it when you feel like life's just carrying you along without a real direction, like you're stuck in a cycle where each day feels the same. So what do you think? Was that valuable advice that I gave? Was it a load of crap? Let us know. joinupdots@gmail.com, or you can send a voice mail. SpeakPipe, just come across to the website and click on the button on the right hand side, and you can send that directly through to us. And let us know, are you dealing with the same thing? Do you feel like every day just leads into another day, every month leads into another month, and then there's a year gone and a decade gone, and you look back and you think, what have I actually done with that time? Many people are exactly the same. So, Clary, thank you very much for that email. A short, bite-sized podcast episode, but I think that's one that's going to at least get somebody out there thinking of operating in a different way. Until next time, I will say to you,
wherever you are, whatever you do, have a nice day.
see you later. Look after yourselves. Cheers. See ya. Bye-bye.
That's the end of Join Up Dots. You've heard the conversation. Now it's time for you to start taking massive action. Create your future, create your life, is the only life you've got. We'll be back again real soon. Join up dots, join up dots, join up dots, join up dots. Join up dots.